there, folks. This is Sean Broderick for the Oxford Club. I'm here in the wild of Nevada. I'm at the NuLegacy Gold site. They have nice property here, very large. They have multiple zones of interest. We'll have more than 150 by the end of the year, and they are coming up with gold. This is Roger Steininger. Now, he is head of geology here. You'll have to give them your exact title because I keep forgetting it.
Chief Geoscience Officer.
That's right. Okay, good.
And director.
And director. And so he's been showing me around, and really, this is a fascinating project. It reminds me of some other ones I've seen, only at an earlier stage. And so perhaps you could tell my subscribers what you guys have, really going on here.
Well, we've defined gold mineralization along a 3-kilometer trend that we call the iceberg deposit. And we've outlined mineralization in 3 separate zones, north, central, and south, about a 700-meter gap in between each, with essentially no drilling. So we've been focused on these zones and stepping out to grow the zones and working toward connecting them into one deposit.
Mm-hmm. And you guys have had some nice holes so far. Could you just give us an example of some of the results you've had?
Well, particularly in the north zone,
mm-hmm.
which is a little higher grade, nearer the surface, but we get things like 41 meters of a gram. One of our better holes was 41 meters of almost 4 grams. We gained some substantial widths of about 70 meters of 0.8 grams. And this is all oxidized, very near surface. Comes within 100 feet or so of the surface.
Now, you guys aren't sure yet, but you think you might be on track for a Carlin-type deposit here, isn't that right?
That's right. It has all the characteristics of a Carlin-type system. Similar alteration, similar trace chemistry, and it's in the Devonian carbonate rocks, just like the other gold deposits here in the Cortez area.
Okay, and speaking of that, we are in the Cortez Trend, and on our way here, we drove past multiple working gold mines. Barrick has a huge operation with multiple mines, right? Isn't that right down the road?
That's right, and they produce about 1 million ounces a year from their mines here in the Cortez area.
And as I've told you guys before, when you want to find a gold mine, you should look next to another gold mine. And in the Cortez Trend, as in these other big trends that we have in the state, you find these massive deposits tend to run in groups. And so that's what NuLegacy Gold thinks are on the trail here. They have a lot more work to do. They have more drilling. You guys have recently raised money, so you have more money to do that, right?
Correct.
Right. They aren't actually mine builders. They just want to build this up so that someone else will, take real interest in it. The thing is, 2 companies have already taken a real interest in it. One is Barrick, one is Oceana. Could you maybe just fill my subscribers in on that for a bit?
Well, we were able to acquire the entire property from Barrick, and the last 30% we traded about 32 million of our shares to Barrick for their interest. So we own the property 100% now. Oceana bought a large block of our stock through an investment, and they are one of our big shareholders too.
Okay, good. So what kind of things can my subscribers look for from your company, say, at the end of this year and then through next year?
Well, one of the excitements is what we think is a new discovery that we call the avocado, that sits about 2 kilometers to the north of Iceberg, and we just announced 2 holes, one of which has over 200 meters of a 1/4 gram gold in a Carlin system that seems entirely separate from Iceberg. So within that, we've got some 1 gram material. The other hole we released had a significant intercept of 1 gram material out on the pediment, and those 2 holes are about 650 meters apart. So we think we're on to a second discovery.
Okay. That's interesting stuff going on here. I have enjoyed this trip a lot simply because you can see how these clusters occur. And so if you're in the right area and you have the right people and you have money, that really raises the odds that you're actually going to find something. So we will keep a close eye on this company. Thank you, folks, for tuning in. Thank you for speaking to them. Is there anything you want to add, or should we wrap up?
No, I just want to thank you for your interest and support.
All right. Well, thanks very much. You folks, thanks very much for tuning in. This is Sean Broderick for the Oxford Club.